What's up YouTube? I'm back. Today we're going to work on an oven. Complaint is it's not heating up. So I'm going to go over here step by step and show you what to look for as far as the sequence of how it starts and heats up. So basically, it's a frigidaire in the wall oven. So we want to turn it on for heat. So we're going to call for the bake button. We're going to push our temperature. Let's just put it at 350 and we'll bake. So listen for that click. You'll hear a little relay click inside there. That's acknowledging that the signal should be getting sent down to the bottom here. First thing you want to look for is back in the back right there, there's it's called a hot surface igniter. It'll start to light up. So we're checking for that right now. That's the first cycle. That's the first start of the cycle, what you want to look for. If it's not heating up, we would want to verify and make sure we got power at it. Okay. 120 volts you should have going to that igniter. So it would light up by now. So basically, without that happening, it's not going to heat. So let's get some steps and I'm going to show you the next. Okay, so now what I want to do, I'm going to pull this thing out. So basically it's just a drawer. If you look on the side, it's got tracks to pull out. We're going to lift this thing up. It's like a drawer in your cabinet or your kitchen, your bedroom door. You're going to get to those rollers. Now if you look inside here, up in the top right here, where's it at? Right inside here. That's your igniter. Okay. So, got some light for you. So basically, this up here is your igniter. It'll start to light, and that's the first cycle. So look at this plug right here. You should have 120 volts measured coming out of this plug to make sure. But first thing we can do first is we can check this igniter. I'll show you how to test the continuity on it and see how much resistance it has. Alright, we're going to take our meter here. We're going to put it on resistance. So those of you who don't know, it's this omega looking horseshoe right here. That's to measure resistance of this thing. Okay, put it on that. You should see an OL, which means open line. Now, if you take these two together, kind of hard to do this with one hand. Anyway, you take your two terminals together, you cross them together like that, and that OL changes in state. So I'll take it back, there you go. So we want to see a reading inside there. So right now, we're open. So I'm going to take my connector here. Let's get that thing to set this up for you. Kind of hard to do this with one hand, but geez. Okay, I don't know if you can see that okay. I'm going to take my meter. I'm going to backstab the back of these things right here. Each pin that go to my igniter. Okay. Now I'm going to measure the resistance value inside this. So 120 volts. You want to have a decent, decent amount of resistance. Not too much, but anything too high and won't work. So I'm going to go to my meter here. 6.5 ohms. That's mega ohms. That's way too much resistance. So basically, that's not enough to heat this thing up. So luckily for you guys, I have a brand new one right here. I'll show you what the reading should be on a brand new one. Alright, got a brand new one here. Got it on Amazon. It's a pretty popular one for frigidaires. They're all pretty similar. So I'm going to take my two pins here. Backstab each one. One in the black. One in the red. Now, remember I had 9 million ohms there on the last one. Look what I got now. 93 regular ohms. Okay, that's ideally good. So basically, if I were to amp this out, I would take my voltage and divide it by my resistance, and that would give me how many amps this thing should be drawn. So we're going to put this in and go from there. Make this quick. I'm going to pull the racks out like this. And if you look in the back, there's a little plastic clip or metal clip. Pops up. This whole thing comes out. Okay. There's our burner shield. Pull that out. Now, Let's see, it's kind of loose. I loosened this up a little bit just to make it easier. So take a wrench, whatever size that is, take that out. We're going to pull the shield off. This is our heating shield that heats it up. So if you look inside there, our thing's right there. Now, okay, next step, once I got that shield off, we're going to come down here. I'm going to undo this screw right here on the front. This pretty much holds the front of the burner tool in place. Okay, I got that screw out. The burner comes out. If you look, I'm going to go up there. I'm going to pop the back out. See where the air gap is for the back of the back there? Just going to pop it up. Comes right out. Take this baby out. Put it on the ground here. Wherever you want to do with that. Table, bench, whatever. You got two screws. You got actually one screw. You got one screw that holds this guy in here. There should be two. Okay. So anyway, you get this screw, undo it. And you take the new one and pop it on just like that. Pretty simple. Okay, so I got the screw off. I'm going to pretty much just take this old one, put it on the side. I'm going to put the new one right there. And put the screw back in. Then what we're going to have to do is, if you look, the connectors on this are a little bit longer. It looks like whoever did this one spliced it in. If you do splice it in, make sure you use the right terminals. So they have, there should be some porcelain ceramic wire caps under here, and you use this glass heat cloth tape to keep it. So let's see. Hopefully they did that right. All right, I took the screw out, or I put the screw back in, put this thing in place. Now if you look, yeah, this one has these kind of connectors on it. So basically, I don't think that's long enough to reach inside there. So what we're going to do is I'm going to cut these at this, and hopefully we'll see what they got in here. But hopefully they have the right connectors, and I'll put some more of this glass heat cloth tape on. That way we can keep the cord the same length, and it'll reach inside the oven there. Okay, so it looks like one of the wires ran straight through, and the other one had a connector they put on. But yeah, basically so I'll have to go grab another one of these porcelain connectors. Again, you want to use these because these are rated for high temperature heat. So make sure if you're in an oven or any kind of hot area where you're working, use these kind of connectors. If you use plastic ones, they might get hot and melt, so that's bad. So that's what these are for. So let me go grab another one, and what I'll do is I'll just splice these two wires together, right here and here, cut that back, put new connectors on it, tape them off, and we'll reassemble it. Alright, so I found two of these connectors I got, so I'm going to cut those back, splice these two wires. I'm going to trim off about a little bit of each wire. And I'm just going to put this old harness back together with these ones. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong one. I meant the new one. I'm going to cut these connectors off that would go into a normal jack connector like this, but because this is not long enough, I need to make this the right length. So I'm going to splice these ones together with the new one with the old harness. Alright, I cut each one back, put these connectors on. Now we're going to put some tape around them. Alright, as you can see, we wrapped it with tape now. So I'm going to put this back inside the oven. We're going to run this down inside, plug it in. But just to make sure while we're still here, let's do a test on it and make sure that the new connector, everything tied in, gets a nice good reading. So let's backstab. Depends on these. That one. Gosh. Okay, testing both of them inside that one. And I'm still getting 93.2 ohms, which is perfect. Alright, see if I can do this. Alright, we're going to take this thing and put it back in the same way we took it out. So I'm going to I'm going to run my wire through that hole in the back, because that's where the wire ran through. Plug into the jack. Now I do want to tell you guys, make sure you always unplug the unit before working on it to avoid the risk of electrical shock. Okay, I'm going to put that in there on the very front here. Where am I at? Let's see. Oh, you I didn't look at. Okay, this new one, because this is a universal one, I'm going to show these side by side. My old one only had one bracket on the mounting bracket. This one's got a mounting bracket here and a mounting bracket here. So basically, I'm going to bend this down without breaking it. for that is it's going to get in the way of the top shield when I put it up inside here. Okay, now if you look, what I ended up doing was just bending this opposite way, because otherwise I don't want this popping up before it was hitting the top of that metal channel. So I'm going to put it in there. I'm going to put it in my thingy there for the gas valve. And I'm going to put my front screw in here on the very front, just so you can look. Let me show you. Right here. I'm going to line that screw up, put that in. Oops. Can you guys see that? Oh yeah, perfect. It's a matter of pushing it all up, line the screw in there. And that screw back up. Bam. Next step, I'm going to come back in here. I'm going to plug my connector in. There you go. Let's tuck this back in the back, so we're good. Just make sure everything's clear, everything's in the safe there. Good. Now we can put the burner tube on back, or the burner cover back on the top of the oven. Let's get the light on. Okay, now if you look here, yeah, the other one came up, so I had to bend this down a little bit, otherwise it'd pop up. These are aftermarket ones you can buy. The OEM one, it looks like it had just one piece, so we can make it work though. We're gonna come back here. We're going to put our cover shield on. Now there's a notch on the back, so that's where the element or the hot surface igniter sits inside. So there is one way this goes on. Line it up with that screw, like that. All right, we'll take our nut. Let's put it back on the middle there. Just get our wrench and just kind of tighten it up. There you go. Make sure it doesn't move. Perfect. Now if you look on the back here, here's this little plastic clip. That's going to go inside that slot right there. You see there. So we're going to put it in. Put it in like this. Feel for it. On the front here, you want the front to slide into this, so it's going to tuck under that. And then the back locks in. And then you tighten that screw down in the back once it's all in. Okay, there you go. We got that in. Tighten back there. Now let's do a cycle test on this. Alright, let's go up here. We're gonna put it on bake mode. Go 350. Bake. Hear that click? Let's turn our light off so we can see this baby light now. You want to wait for that thing to start lighting up. Alright, let's try it again. Ready? Temperature 350. Click. Let's go down below here. Basically, there it is. See that baby lighting up? You want that to light up. Then once it gets to a certain temperature, it starts getting hot. Gas valve will click and open, which is right over here. That guy. Flame comes on. Once the fire registers to the igniter, keeps it going hot. And then that's how your oven starts going. So the first steps you always want to do is make sure your igniter turns on. If the igniter does not turn on, your gas valve will not start. So basically it's got to get to a certain temperature and start heating there. So there you go. Got it all squared away. Hope this video helped everybody out. So peace out.